to have access to Light World, not be a button. And our runners are underway, and Link's house will be basically it'll just be the bomb shop and vice versa. And once you get to the Light World, and we start in what's called the Dark Chapel in Inverted, and we get a nice little map check already, and looks like it's Pendant Pod, and the rest are crystals, including Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock being a special crystal.
Yeah, so having that extra heart container to start off in Link's house, that's a good sign.
Yeah, we see a little bit of a divergence already. It looks like Salty Fire's going to go to Skull Woods to get the bombs. Meanwhile, Malagord and Goomba looks like they're going to try to get bombs themselves over a pipe cave. The tree pole is bombed, so that's good for them, but they've taken a lot of damage already.
Yeah, but no big deal because Hype Cave is right next to home. And we're going to see what's in there. We got some bombs. There's our hammer.
Nice little early hammer in Hype Cave. Salty Fry is going to probably get there eventually once he's done farming these bombs here in Skull Woods.
Yeah, Salty Fry taking intentional deaths there just to get those bombs to respawn. And looks like Mr. Scruff is going to be doing the same thing here.
And there's the Moon Pearl in Skull Woods. So both the hammer and the Moon Pearl early on. One is a Power Glove and we'll have access to the Light World. And early Light World access is a dream in Inverted because you can try to knock those things out early on instead of having to do the Dark World with low hearts.
Now in Inverted, there's a lot fewer locations open from the start. So you're going to usually find progression much more quickly than you would in a regular season. And there's a glove. But that glove is on Bumper Ledge, and that's actually not accessible. The way you get there is you have to go through the Bumper Cave, which has been transferred to the Light World. So that's not going to be our glove that gives us access to the Light World. That's going to be Titan's Mitts.
Yes, that's correct. It looks like Goomba might be heading into Thieves Town here. Thieves Town we can fully complete with our hammer. And someone in chat was pointing out they wanted to see a 3-heart hammer Thieves Town. Well, how about 4 hearts? Is that close enough? And the thing about the glove being where it was and having to be Titan's Mitts is only needed for one location in the entire game. And there's the glove in Thieves Town, so there's that. Goomba, once Goomba goes into Skull Woods, he'll have Light World access. But Titan's Mitts only unlock one spot in the entire game in Inverted, and that is King's Tomb.
Yeah. Most pretty much anywhere else. So Dark Death Mountain, Light Death Mountain rather, does not actually require the Titan's Mitts if you have the hook shot to get across. So your Titan's Mitts can still be accessed to Dark Death Mountain or Light Death Mountain if the hook shot is if the hook shot is not available. But definitely an interesting seed to start off with. Light World access very freely available here. So our runners are going to have a lot of options right off the start. And I would expect in a few minutes here, once all of the runners have gotten their Light World access, we're going to see a lot of divergence in this seed, I would expect.
And probably my favorite part of Inverted is what Salty Fire is doing right now. One of the legitimate strats here to ensure some extra money for you. You can't really do Houlihan, but you can play the Arrow minigame. It's in the Dark World here. And there's a setup for you to get the full amount every time. So, very easy.
Meanwhile, we do have Goomba visiting now the back of Thieves Town, half magic on Graveyard Ledge.
Graveyard Ledge, to get there, it's one of the places that has a little access ramp now in the Light World to along with a few other locations that usually you need mirror for to get to. Those locations now have little ramps put in for invert.
Yeah, so mirror not required for that.
Goomba the only one going through a dungeon, still going through Thieves Town here, taking his time because, after all, still on 3 hearts total here.
And that was a lot of digs required for just 20 rupees there.
Mr. Scruff's about to get his hammer from Hype Cave. The last one of our runners to do so. And in case people are wondering, the sword situation, we are dealing with randomized swords. You can choose to do Uncle Assured even in inverted mode, which would mean Uncle will have a sword for you, but we're doing randomized swords, so the swords will be randomized.
So we've seen the map and compass in Thieves Town, so that means there's going to be an item in the big chest and an item on blind.
Malagord's about to get his power glove in a couple seconds. So he'll actually be the first with Light World access. And Goomba finds a 5th heart, which is going to come in handy because having to do hammer blind, unless you practice it a lot, it's not the easiest thing to do.
No, definitely not. But ever since Inverted came out, a lot of runners have been practicing for these specific situations. So Goomba is going to go ahead and try this hammer blind on 5 hearts, even though it's not really required.
That's a good start. Mistimed just a little bit there. Now he's going to have to... And he takes that.
That's unfortunate.
With Green Mail, the blind's body and head steal 2 hearts of damage if they hit you, so that's a lot of damage.
So Goomba's going to come back later. Not really a big deal. It doesn't take too long to get back there. But he is going to be leaving an item behind. It looks like Malagord, even though he does have Light World access, is going to go through the back of Thieves Town as well.
Yep. Definitely looks that way. I'm pretty sure Salty Fire will do the same thing as well. Try to knock out the dungeon if you can, get as much done. And if you aren't comfortable, come back later. But Goomba's not going up to Skullwood, so he's going to miss out on his Moon Pearl for a little bit here. Scruff gets... I don't think he got a ton of rupees, but he got enough to be comfortable. Now he's going to go over to the digging game.
So, Goomba still has to make their way to Skullwoods to get that Moon Pearl. But Salty Fry and Malagord do have Light World access once they're finished with Thieves Town.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they go to Light World and start clearing out everything like they would there, which I think would be a good choice because there's a lot more checks on the Light World than there are on the Dark World, and it's a lot safer for you. The only downside is without the mirror, it's kind of hard to go back and forth from the Dark World to the Light World at the moment.
Yeah, the mirror is one of the most interesting items in Inverted, just because of how different it is, or the places that you can mirror to. Looks like Mr. Scruff is opting to head over to the eastern Dark World area, so he'll be able to check Pyramid Ledge, and he can go into Pod, although it may be bow-locked.
Goomba's gonna see his Titan's mitts here on the ledge, which I'll have to come back for later. I don't even know if he saw it fully, but he probably did. And it looks like Ninja will be going towards Pod. Going to Pod early, even without the bow, is the strategy you see a lot of times inverted, because something can be there.
Yeah, the hammer definitely tends to point towards Pod just because it opens it up right away. Little does Scruff know that the glove is just sitting right there in the front of Thief's Town. So here's Malagord now on the blind fight. Takes one hit, takes 2 hits. Bit of a rough start there.
Yeah, this is not a good start for Malagord here. He's going to need to dodge everything here for the rest of this fight while using a hammer, but he's got to the last phase here. Let's see if he can dodge these fireballs. Then he's got 1 to go. Oh, he doesn't do it. Well, it'll be Salty Fry's turn a little bit.
And one strategy you can use there is pause buffering. So you can bring up the start menu and you'll be able to see where all the fireballs are. It's a very slow method,
yeah,
but much safer.
Well, Pod is bow locked. The big key was in the first chest. Salty Fry now on the blind fight. Malagord's going to be heading to the Light World. He'll be the first one of our 4 runners to actually go to the Light World. Goomba, however, has gotten his Moon Pearl and is heading towards the Light World himself as we speak. Salty Fry doing a really good job here with the fight. Hasn't taken a hit yet and gets it done. First of our runners to get blind. We see the map check and we have pendants at Pendant Eastern. The green pendant is on Hera and the other Pure Fairy Crystal is on Desert. So technically our bow can actually be in Gannis Tower in this current scenario.
Yeah, and if any of these runners happen to know the relatively new Mimic clip, it's entirely possible they may not even need the bow.
And there's your magic cape, so that's one of the puzzles to... Well, how does the magic cape work with the bumper ledge now? That gets you Death Mountain, right?
Well, the gloves and lamp get you to Death Mountain. The cape will get you into Bumper Cave, but you still need the mirror to be able to mirror back to the Dark World to grab those Titan's mitts.
Gotcha.
Alright, so it looks like 3 of our runners are now going to take the sort of the similar path into the Light World. Although now we're seeing a little divergence. Goomba heading over towards the north area checks. Malagord heading into Kakariko.
Goomba's going to get his half magic while he's over here for sure.
Yeah, he'll also be able to go into the back of Escape, potentially, or he could continue over towards either Zora or the eastern area. He is close to Zora Money. There's an Ice Rod in Blind's Hut.
Early Ice Rod, always a nice find, especially when Turtle Rock is a crystal.
And a bottle with red goo inside.
You know, Goomba does grab the half magic from Graveyard Ledge that we knew about because of a hint. And he's going to do the back of Escape now as Ninja gets his Power Glove.
It looks like Mr. Scruff is... I'm not sure if that was an intentional death or not. But he's just going to nope out of Thieves Town and go to Light World, which I certainly don't blame him for. We saw how much luck some of the other runners had with Blind.
Goomba finds the lamp in the back of Escape, and Malagord finds Blue Mail in the well. We're just trying to keep our eye on 2 screens. It's Malgord and then Goomba / Salty Fry. Doing slightly different things here. Ninja following a little bit in their footsteps, a little bit behind at the moment.
Yeah, Malgord finding that bug net as well.
They found a bug net. Also, I believe there was a bottle also in Blind's basement, so he can check Sick Kid while he's over here.
Yep.
And doing a little chicken clip action for us.
So an inverted Kakariko is still definitely a place you want to go to earlier, but it's usually not quite as stacked just because it's requires a few more items to access than in open mode where it requires nothing.
Yeah. Malagord's now done clearing Kakariko, as the other 3 runners are all either in Kakariko or heading there to get all the items that were in there. Malagord now going to check what's on the library and then check what's on race game. You know, what we usually see in the early games of a normal seed, we're seeing it 16 minutes in here. And we see Quake on the library. Now, one thing about medallions here, you don't technically need the medallion to get into Turtle Rock unless, well, there's very interesting scenarios that would prevent that, but we won't get into that because usually you do not need the medallion if you have the mirror.
Yeah.
Here's another thing we see with the inverted mode is K45. You just walk right there. You don't have to worry about mirroring or going back and forth to Dark World. We've raised the land a little bit and let you get right in there. Just a piece of heart, though.
Malagord now going to head down towards the south shore.
Yeah, we'll probably go to the dam, and then you might go to, looks like, going
towards the desert area, so he can check Agina as well as Checkerboard Cave here. Checkerboard Cave, much like Cave 45, also has the land changed a little bit, so you don't need the mirror to get in there.
And you also saw there was a little ladder there to get to Bombos Tablet because, well, we can mirror the Bombos Tablet, so we need someone to get up there.
And while we're in the desert area, it's worth mentioning that Desert Palace absolutely requires the book. There's no way to mirror into it like there is in open mode. So with Desert being a pendant, the book is absolutely required this seed.
You mean a crystal, but yes, we need the book to get into Desert Palace. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whereas you don't need a medallion to get into Turtle Rock, you need the book to get into that.
Checkerboard Cave, just some arrows.
So we're going to check the Desert Ledge and then saving, or oh no, he's going to the dam now.
Yeah, Desert Ledge is one of those checks where it's kind of far out of the way to go to, so it's kind of up in the air whether it's worth checking or not. Problem is, if you don't check it, you're like, it could be a while before you get back there. And it might be good to know if there's something there.
Let's see, both 2 runners now in the dam, finding 20 rupees in the first chest. You still need a mirror to access Swamp Palace. You just have to, mirror first, then pull the lever, and then go back through the portal to get into Swamp.
Yeah, there's another heart container on the sunken item.
Or sorry, the other way around. You just go and you just walk up there on the light world, pull the lamp, and then mirror to get into the.
Yeah, it's slightly faster than in open mode.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Mini Moldarm Cave now.
bomb strats to take care of the mini Moldorms here.
Nicely done.
Yep. Goomba can use Ice Rod strats instead. And we see not a whole lot in here, just pieces of hearts and money. 3 pieces of heart and 2 $50 pieces. Then a long walk to Ice Rock Cave. Which Goomba is not going to make at the moment. He's going to go probably over the desert area now. Salty Fry also with the Ice Rod strats in the Moldorm Cave. Again, both those guys have half magic already, whereas Malagor does not.
So just some money in Ice Rod Cave. Malagord might opt to fake flipper here.
Trying to bring up a question about the flute needed in inverted mode. The flute is actually never needed in inverted mode. It is solely a luxury item. The way that Mire is set up, you could walk to Mire in Dark World, so you don't need flute and to get into Mire, and you really there's no the flute never is blocking anything.
It can be required if the mirror is in Mire. Then your flute is the only way to get to Mire. But unless, other than that, there's no real need for the flute.
Right.
And we are seeing Malagord do some fake flippers here.
Let's see where Goomba heads off to. Looks like he's going to head over towards the Eastern Palace area, Sahasrara.
Yeah,
or Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, Hyrule Castle, Uncle.
Ooh, there's your flute. It's on the hobo.
Yeah, so that does open up the Mire area. Of course, you still have to activate the flute in the Light World, which can be a pain sometimes.
Yeah, you have to go all the way to Kakariko, activate it, and then you keep using the Dark World. So Salty Fry is not going towards Hobo at the moment.
Yeah, he's just going straight for the Zora area.
Where Malagor is also at right now.
Uncle just having a bunch of money for us.
And nothing in the Waterfall Ferry. We'll see what's in Zora area. We can see what's on the ledge. We can't grab it. And we'll see what Zora has, because both our runners have the required 500 rupees. Meanwhile, Goomba is the first of runners into Hyrule Castle.
So Salty Fry can walk on water thanks to the Water Walk state. And no, he just went onto land, which cancels your Water Walk state, so now he's got to walk around the long way.
Yeah, he was doing good until he walked onto the green, which cancels the fake flipper / water walk. So both of them are going to be at Zora just about the same time. And they'll get just some arrows.
Alright, so we'll see if maybe Goomba made the right call here, or maybe our progression is in the eastern area. Ooh,
There's silvers.
Well, that's not progression, but definitely nice to have.
Oh, yeah. And we do have the Virgins again. Salty Fry is now heading back towards the Skull Woods area. Malagord's going to the west part of Dark World. I don't think he's been to. And Salty Fry looking like he's going to go to Death Mountain.
Well, he's going to pick up those Titan's mitts, Oh, yeah, no,
No,
you're right. You're right.
not
you're
yet. Not in, this is inverted mode.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do some other tricks to get those
Yeah,
Titan
we
Smiths.
still need that mirror. Yeah, so it'll be the first one up to Death Mountain. So what can we access up here? We can access the item on the old man. We can't access East Death Mountain in the light world, but we can in the dark world, so we can get to Super Bunny Cave. And we can check the Turtle Rock medallion.
Saving and quitting and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Spike Cave also is open.
By the way, when you do say the old man here, you have a long trip in front of you, and you have to walk it. Even if we had the boots, we're having to do this walk. You have to walk all the way to the portal, drop down to where you leave the old man in the light world, and then go up.
Yeah, so we have also Goomba heading over to Eastern, so our progression's going to be either on Death Mountain or in the Eastern area. There's not a whole lot left.
Just a big 20 on Spectacle Rock. Let's see what's back Sahasha here.
Absolutely nothing.
That was all trash there. Alright, so if I dropped off the old man, didn't see what he gave him, but I don't think it was anything useful. And Goomba's going to be heading to Eastern Palace here. And Maligord's going back. He wants his revenge on Blind.
Yeah, he's got a lot more health this time, and it is a crystal, so why not finish it off?
And it is also he also has a red potion, which will help a little bit. Ninja fake flippers to get his flute. We see a heart container inside Spectacle Rock. Let's see what this hint says on Salty's screen. It says unique items in Blind's hideout. Well, that would have been the ice rod.
Yeah. So Goomba heading into Eastern. It's a pendant, so he's not worried about being able to full clear it. So might as well dip while you're in the area here. One more area I forgot about, but the Misery Mire area is open with that flute. So we can check on Mire Shed, and we can check what Medallion Mire requires as well. Although, actually, no, that flute was out of logic, because that required the flippers, so never mind.
And if you're new to Inverted and you saw Ganon's Tower was flashing, but it had steps already there, and you're thinking, wait, what? Why can't we just go to Ganon's Tower? Well, in Inverted mode, that is actually Aghanim's Tower, and Ganon's Tower is where Aghanim's Tower is in the Light World. Maligord does get Trinex down without having to use his red potion, surviving on 1 heart, and he gets his first crystal at 28 minutes in. Well, we see Super Bunny Cave on Salty's screen, and just a red boomerang and a piece of heart. Nothing too good.
Yeah, so imagine...
oh, look at that hint. The book is in western wing of Swamp Palace, and that is required.
Alright. So it looks like Salty Fry didn't find anything Super Bunny. Surprisingly didn't check the Turtle Rock medallion. Even though you may not need it, I would still check it. But he is going to check Spike Cave.
Eastern Palace may not be required, but that hint was a very good hint for Goomba to find, and I'm sure Ninja will find it as well once he gets through here. Salty Fry going through Spike Cave, another check that's made a little earlier in this mode, and the cape makes it in logic.
Nothing there. So I think we're just down to this Eastern Palace big chest. It's got to have something.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's open to these runners. I don't know if they went to the vanilla big key chest in Skull Woods. Although I think one of them did.
I think Catfish, maybe? Catfish is open with that glove.
Yes, Catfish is open.
Pod was bow locked, so we know there's nothing immediately that is immediate progression in there. I'm thinking there's got to be something on Catfish.
And technically, the mire is not in logic yet because we don't have flippers yet.
Yeah, that flute was locked behind the flippers, so it is not our immediate progression anyway. But yeah, Catfish is the only thing I can think of that is currently in logic. So maybe a while before any of our runners make their way over there. I think we're mostly just going to see them all retracing each other's steps for the next few minutes. So we got no mirror to get in the swamp. We got no flippers. So ice is not in logic. No bow, and we've seen that pod was bow locked. We got no hook shot, so we can't do Death Mountain, or East Death Mountain rather.
Yeah, no way to get up to Hera either with that.
We see Goomba carrying a bush. This actually makes you walk slightly faster when you have the old man by carrying a bush. I don't know exactly why, but it's a good thing to keep in mind if you're a speedrunner.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Dark Cross yet. That's one other location I don't think we've seen yet.
That may have been a key, because I don't remember seeing a key in Escape. And I'm sure like Goomba probably would have checked it if he knew there was something there.
Let's see if Malagord is... Well, he's going to get his flute out. So he's probably going to activate his flute. He must have activated it already. Okay, so Malagord just activated his flute. Let's see where he takes... He's going to use that to get to Death Mountain quickly. Okay. So he's just going to do what Goomba's doing right now also.
Yeah. Actually, with that flute, you can get to Catfish quite a bit quicker. Since that number 2, yeah, that'll take you to the Dark World version of the potion shop.
Looks like Scruff is going to be heading over to activate his flute right now as well. Salty Friend Goomba, they've stayed, well, I think Salty went up to Zora, but he didn't go to Hobo, so he does not have that flute right now.
Yeah, it looks like Salty Fry is probably going to make his way to Catfish shortly, although he may dip into Pod first. We'll see.
The question is, if Catfish does have our one item of progression, which item will it be? At this point, it's got to be either the bow, the hook shot, the flip... No, not the flippers. Flipper doesn't unlock what we need, I don't think.
Well, the flippers would make that flute in logic, which would open up the mire area. But that's only 2 checks.
Could be Fire Rod that opens up 2 checks in Skullwoods.
Yeah. And Salty Fry is heading to Catfish. If I had to guess, I would say the hook shot is what we're going to find at Catfish.
Yeah, the hook shot opens up the most by far. It opens up Light World, Death Mountain, and it opens up... Could also be Mirror. Mirror opens up... Actually, Mirror does open up Turtle Rock. Ugh.
Yeah, it opens up a little bit of Turtle Rock. That would also open up the mire area. And it would also allow us to grab those Titan Smiths. So Mr. Scruff now heading to mire. This is not in logic without flippers.
Oh, can they go to Light World, Death Mountain using the Turtle Rock portal?
You need the Titan's Mitts for that. And it's the bow.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, the bow is that Catfish. Alright. So that opens a pod.
Yeah, the Turtle Rock portal still requires either Titan's Mitts or... Well, sorry, Titan's Mitts and Hammer.
I knew it required hammer, I just didn't know if it required Titan's Mitts or not.
Actually, yeah.
Because you could jump down the ledge, but then you have to hammer in the light world to get down there.
Yeah, no, I think the portals are still covered by dark rock, so I think you are going to need the Titan's Mitts for that.
Okay.
Goomba setting up the Kern jump here.
Oh, and he gets it. Wow.
Gets it on the first try, very nice. And that'll get him over to Catfish a little bit quicker. Salty Fry, though, headed to Pod, and we can full clear Pod.
Well, if you're a fan of pedestal seeds, you might be in good shape, because that bow just gave us full access to 2 of our pendants.
Yeah. And we're only a hook shot away from full pedestal access.
Imagine that mirror being on the pedestal. Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be gross.
Gross, that'd be awesome.
Awesome to watch.
Yeah. Makes my decision of not running this race even more smart. Alright, Goomba's about to get his bow. Alright, so Salty Fry going through Pod. Now that he has the bow. I mean, I guess technically you didn't need the bow if you had that bottle. It's a bottle glitch, but I guess you wanted to stay in logic.
Yeah. And you never know, it could be a required item on Helmosaur.
Now we're doing the out of logic check here. And it is Quake for Meyer, so we're going to need those boots eventually.
Yeah, that's right. Quake was on the library. So this will not be a Bootsil seed.
And Meyer said had nothing. He's hard. Pyramid item was nothing, I don't think. I think it was like 10 arrows or something, because they left right away. Malagor's heading to the pod area now. He does have that potion, so he might be able to potion glitch this area. Instead, he's going to check the light world first.
Looks like Salty Fry is opting to go right to the boss.
Okay, well, because he doesn't have the mirror, it makes more sense to do this, to kill the boss, then come back, and then get the rest of the items afterwards.
Yeah, it does kind of make sense, but at the same time, it's a pendant, and it's possible that the boss just has the compass, and you may not need to do it at all.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things that could be.
So,
but maybe he thinks the early bow means maybe the pedestal might come into play, and just get the dungeon out of the way while you're. You probably want to complete the dungeon anyway while you're here, just in case, and it's just faster to do it this way. It's a safer play, I think.
I suppose, yeah. I just personally, I would clear the back first, but just to make sure that that compass isn't on Helmosaur.
Very nice to remove those bombs, those hammer.
And Mr. Scruff now heading up to Catfish to get that bow.
So Malagor the only one who has not gotten that bonus yet. Salty Fry going through this Helmosaur. All these runners, by the way, still no sword, for the record. Salty Fry gets it done.
Yeah.
One silver arrow is going to take care of it. And Helmosaur drops. The
Ooh.
mirror! Whoa, wow.
That's huge.
Crazy play by Salty Fry.
Yeah, I wonder, you know, I could see a really bad situation where if there's more progression in pods, some runners may opt to just skip Helmosaur. So I hope we don't see that.
The mirror opens up just a few things in Turtle Rock for us at the moment. But we'll definitely make checking the Light World a lot easier. And we can get those Titan Smiths if we want to, but we still need the boots to make use of them. At least for Kingston.
Yeah, although Titan Smiths would open up East Death Mountain, actually. So we'll be able to actually get over there.
They're your boots in the harmless hellway here in Pod. So that's what you're talking about. There was progression in Pod.
Yeah, so I really hope... I wouldn't surprise me if someone decides that those boots are the progression and just nopes out a pod. So I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah, we'll see what Goomba does, because he's the one who would make that play at the moment, obviously. Goomba is going to Death Warp. Let's see if he goes that to kill the boss. I would assume because he knows there's one more item left that he will.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going back in.
He's missing a small key though, so he has to grab a key from the other. I know where it is. It's the bridge chest. I don't think you checked that. And Salty Fry is now done with. But he doesn't mirror to go to Eastern, well, because it is a pendant, so it doesn't make, I guess.
Yeah, he's pretty content with that mirror and those boots.
Yeah, there's the bridge chest. He's going to grab the key from there. And then go kill the boss.
Yeah, good choice by Goomba. Alright, so with that mirror, we can get those Titan Smiths, we can get over to East Death Mountain, and we can actually do Tower of Hera. So that pedestal is fully on logic now, for those of you who are fans of that, and there's quite a few items that could be there.
Yeah. Hookshot, flippers, fire rod, and Samaria could all be on there.
Book could even be there. Or no, we had a hint for the book.
Swamp.
Right, yeah, never mind.
Salty looks like he's going to get his Titan Smiths. And then also check the boots lock checks here in the Light World, for sure. But it looks like it's going to be Titan Smiths first. Actually, we're going to check the Lumberjack first. So you have to kill Aga. Nope, 50 rupees.
Alright, here's the moment of truth for Mr. Scruff. He's done with the Bacapod. Is he going to go and kill Hummelsaur? It looks like he is.
Yep, and look for the Dongo to Death Warp with. Although he might have killed him. Oh no, there's one more left.
Yeah, I could have just used a bomb there, but the Dongo works, I guess.
Yep. Goomba kills for his mirror. Malgord going through Hyrule Castle. He still has a lot of check stuff, which I'm surprised before going to Catfish for that bow. Salty getting his Titan Smiths now. Again, Salty and Goomba do not have the flute. They stayed in logic. The flute is behind the flipper still.
Yeah, the flute's, I would say, not as useful in inverted, because the locations it brings you to just aren't quite as useful as they are in the light world.
Yeah, plus
so you don't see it used quite as much.
Yeah, plus with the mirror in hand, with the mirror in hand, we don't need the flute at all because the mirror is access to Mire for us.
Yeah.
Goomba is back in Thieves Town to take care of Blind again.
This makes sense. He knows there's an item here, so you might as well take care of this.
The King's Tomb check is just a piece of heart, so those Titan Smiths not required.
Not necessarily, although they are access to East Death Mountain again, so we can get to Paradox Cave and
That's
Hera.
True. If hookshot's blocked by the mitts, then the mitts are required.
And Salty Fry remembering that Quake medallion on the library, going to grab that. And wonder if he might dip into Misery Mire next.
Without the Samaria and he can't clear it, it's a little bit iffy. I don't even know if he needs to Quake yet, because he's just grabbing it while he's here.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, he's going to do the Smith Chain.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is a thing I forgot existed, but yeah, it could be something here.
Ninja is taking out. He does not have the silver arrow, so that means he hasn't been in Hyrule Castle yet.
Mr. Scruff gets that mirror.
And unfortunately for Salty Fry, no sword means no hammer dashing to take out the hammer pegs quickly. And Malagord finally going to Catfish to get his bow.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy about this. And looks like Mr. Scruff may actually be heading for Eastern.
He's already been in Eastern, so he's just going to kill... Oh, he has the mirror. Oh yeah, well, he just got the mirror, so he's going to go to Eastern and probably just take it out while he's here. He knows there's one more item on Armos, and he might be gambling pedestal at this point.
Yeah, that's what I think.
There are swords in the seed, I just don't know where they are.
Yeah, this is another one of those late sword seeds.
Purple chest check is 10 arrows. Goomba getting his Titan Smiths now. Malagord, now he has the bow, is going into Pod, which we know will lead to more progression for him. And Ninja is the first of runners to go towards Armos Knights.
Yeah, so if there's something here or on the pedestal, that would pay off huge for Mr. Scruff. If not, this is a fairly large time sink. Salty Fry hasn't been to a Gina and checkerboard yet, so he's going to route that in with probably check Meyer Shed, and he may dip Meyer. We'll see.
No, actually, we can't open Meyer yet. We need a sword.
That's true. Yeah.
I just remembered that.
I also forgot that. So, kind of the highest sort of density area we have left has to be East Death Mountain.
Yeah, for sure. We have at least 7, 8 items. We have 9 items over. The 7 in Paradox, the 1 on Floating Island, and the 1 in Spiral. And then Hera, too. So
Yeah,
that's like
we got Hera as well.
11, 12 items.
And we got a few checks in Turtle Rock we can actually do without the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, we can do Laser Bridge. With the Cape, it's logically in play as well. And we can do Mimic Cave.
So it looks like Goomba now headed there, as well as Salty Fry.
Yep. Meanwhile, Scruff's about to enter the Armos fight. It's going to be a little longer than the others would have to, because he still doesn't have the silver arrows. But it looks like he has a pretty decent setup here to get him down fast. Alright, let's see what this first check here in... Nope, that's just a blue rupee. And Armos had bomb, so that wasn't required.
Yeah, Mr. Scruff at this point really hoping for a pedestal seed.
And it's Ether to open up the front half of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so we see that kind of mushroom-shaped ring of hammer pegs that was added there to just make sure that the logic is somewhat consistent, that you still need the hammer and mitts to use that portal.
Yep. Here comes the Mimic Cave check. Normally you can't do this, obviously, in vanilla game. We had a little drop down here for us.
Ooh, there's Ether.
Ether for the to open the front half of Turtle Rock if we wanted it. Now, we can't do anything with the front half of Turtle Rock right now anyway, because we don't have Samaria. But now Goomba's going to use this mirror, and... Oh, I thought he was going to go to Turtle Rock, but he'll do this first.
Looks like Salty Fry was thinking about Laser Bridge, but forgot you have to mirror first.
Yeah, so here's the Laser Bridge check.
Oh, there's Flippers.
There's the Flippers, which opens up Swamp Palace for us, which will be the book and open up more things for us. So now the seed's opening up a little bit.
Yeah. Puts that flute in logic, although the flute's not required at this point.
And the rest of Paradox Cave. Nothing yet. Well, Laser Bridge had nothing either. And nothing in the second part of Paradox.
Alright, so we're looking at Hera or Swamp, probably.
Yeah, Swamp being open to us now probably makes the most sense, especially with the players that got the hint saying that the book is in left side, because the book does open up, obviously, Desert Front.
Looks like Goomba is heading over for Hera.
Hera is green pendant, so not the worst check right now. While Salty Fry did get the Flippers. We get 2 hints here for us. Well, that's not really a hint. And we have to go to the basement.
Salty Fry also heading to Hera.
Yep. Figured to do this and then do Spiral Cave afterwards, because it just makes a little bit more sense. Even though it's just a pendant, just knock these 2 items out, plus you unlock Sahasrahla if it's needed. And if you're watching 2 nights ago, I don't want to talk about how badly Sahasha was needed in the nightly race. Four words: go mode Titan's Mitts. Alright, Malgor got his boots. Let's see where he goes to next. If he's completed, he can just go right to the boss here. Looks like that's what he's doing.
Yeah, this is good. So all 4 of our runners are not going to skip that mirror. So it's good to see that. That's definitely an item could easily be skipped by someone.
The climb of Hera continues for Goomba and Salty. Well, Salty Fry down there. Still no items. Piece of Heart in the dark. That can mean a few things. Not really necessary anymore, though.
Yeah, that's one of those hints I kind of just ignore.
I think that's just Dark Cross. I think that's all it could be. We saw the pod ones are both small keys. I just realized these guys probably don't want to go in the swamp just yet because they don't have the hook shot at the moment.
Yeah, they're probably hoping, or they just want to cover their bases, I guess, by taking care of Tower of Hera.
But I mean, if they saw the hint that the book is in left side swamp, you know that the book is going to be blocking the hook shot at this point. It's obvious.
That is a definite possibility.
Well, Moldorm will have the last item here in Hera. And the green pendant, of course. And it is a heart container. I was about to say vanilla, but it was actually a Saint card, so it wasn't vanilla. And Salty got a little bamboozled by the hole there.
Oof, yeah, I think he messed up the bomb jump. Yeah, I fell down 2 stories. That's unfortunate. Alright, Goomba done with Hera. Gonna check Spiral Cave now. No, gonna check Laser Bridge, actually.
Okay. Malgor gets his mirror. Still trailing the other 3 runners by a little bit.
Yeah. This is really shaping up to be a long seed. None of our runners have more than 1 crystal. And we're still quite a few items away from Go Mode.
Yeah, right now they can get the crystals. Well, if they go into swamp just to get the book, they can get the crystal out of desert. But we still need the hook shot for swamp. We still need the fire rod for Skullwoods. We need fire rod or Bombos for Ice Palace. We need Samaria for Mizumara Enter. And of course we need fire rod also for Turtle Rock.
And don't forget, we still need to find 2 swords.
Yeah, just to be able to kill Ganon. I mean, we need a sword just to get into Mire and Turtle Rock, and we need a second one at least to kill Ganon.
Goomba is now heading for Swamp.
Yeah, that makes play. That makes a little sense here. Pretty sure he got the hint that the book's there, so at least he knows that. He's hoping that the hook shot is behind the book.
Yeah, either that or the hook shot is.
Or he's going somewhere else. Is he going to Eastern now? Oh,
he's doing. Okay, he's doing some flipper checks, so he'll get the flute here. He may do.
Okay.
I don't know if he did Waterfall Cave already, but he may do that as well.
I don't think so. I think Salty did.
Oh, there's a sword on the desert ledge.
Okay.
That is our first sword of the seed.
But we can't get to it without the book.
Yeah, but we do have access to the book. We know where it is.
Yes, we do. Salty going to be the one to check Spiral Cave here.
Aligord picks up that Quake medallion.
Salty going to actually check the, what is it, 2 checks we can check here? And, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you got the Vanilla Big Key chest and the Chain Chomp room. Those can be checked. And if we get the big key, we can also check the big chest and Crystal Roller room.
Yes.
Well, Goomba also hasn't done Ice Rod Cave here, so we may also see him check. He could mirror and check that hint in the shopping mall area.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. Mainly only in things like Entrance Rando. He's also set up a Water Walk.
Yeah, so
And
I
that's
guess he's not going to bother with that hint then.
Yeah, he set up the Water Walk in Ice Rod Cave. Let's see what the Chain Chomps have.
Oh, there's that big key.
Alright, we mirror out and go check the big chest. Now we're going for those Titans Smiths now.
Oh, you know what? We can't check the big chest. We need King of Samaria or Hookshot. I totally forgot about that, but yeah, we can't check that. There is a bomb jump to get across, but obviously that is not in logic.
Just a heart container. Goomba about to be very disappointed here, Azora.
Mr. Scruff now finishing off Thieves Town, so he'll get his first crystal here.
Let's see if Salty does the bomb jump here, or if he forgets. He's going to go for the bomb jump.
Yeah, this is a trickier bomb jump to do, but we'll see if Salty Fry knows it. Doesn't get it that time.
So this is one you only see inverted because usually the only way to get here anyway is using King of Samaria.
Yeah, this bomb jump I think requires kind of a specific setup. You can't just do it like a normal bomb jump.
However, it might actually be easier.
Yeah. Goomba now activating that flute.
Goomba also now getting Quake. That's Salty Fry gets Ether.
Yeah, so it's looking like our runners have a choice between dipping Mire without the cane or dipping Swamp without the hook shot.
I much prefer dipping Swamp without the hook shot, solely because we know the book is there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And just to point out, we're an hour, 4 minutes in, and we still have no sword. We know where one of them is, and they can get it if they want to go to Swamp.
Yeah, but we're still waiting for someone to go in there. Looks like Salty Fry is actually heading for Eastern.
This would open up the pedestal if he goes for this, which looks like he is. So Salty's going to make the Eastern/pedestal play.
Yeah, and he'll be able to turn in that green pendant, which I don't think we've seen yet. Mr. Scruff getting blind just on one heart there, but gets his crystal. So all of our runners now just on one crystal still.
Yeah, Salty hasn't been here yet, so also get the hint about the book and Swamp. So maybe that's why he didn't go to Swamp, because he didn't know about the book being in there yet.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Don't know if Goomba did that either. I know Malagor did, and I know Ninja did. I think Goomba did also. And that's something I don't see every day. The purple chest in the mire area.
Yeah.
See, there's a sword there, and he knows that can't get to that without a book. And I'm pretty sure he knows where the book is. And
yeah,
going, he might go there next, which makes sense.
I'm thinking he's gonna dip right into the swamp after this because I don't think he really has much left to do.
Also, for him to do is probably Eastern, like what Salty Fire's doing.
Actually, it's kind of works out really conveniently because you can do swamp, and then with that book you can check the Bombos tablet and then go straight to desert.
Never mind, he's doing Eastern also.
He's doing Eastern.
Now, if Hookshot winds up on the pedestal, this is a good play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's looking more and more like the Hookshot's either in Swamp or behind a book.
Yeah, I can understand wanting to go for the pedestal when you've already done 2 pendants. But at the same time, I feel like it's more likely to be that book. But who knows? Because that book gives you the sword, which actually also opens up Mothula. So I don't know if we've seen both items.
Well, we need Fire Rod for Mothula.
Oh yeah.
And we definitely seen one item. The Moon Pearl was in there. I don't know about the second item.
I forgot about that that little detail of the fire rod.
Well, Ninja might be heading up to Hera, and he's trying to mirror in the Dark World to the Light World. But Ninja's already got the pendant out of Eastern, so once he does Hera, he can get the pedestal. Also, these runners that have the green pendant, Salty Fire and Goomba, they could also check Sahasra when this is done.
Yeah, could be something there. Alright, so Salty Fire coming up to that Armos fight. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't just go straight to the pedestal after this.
He'd probably run to Sahasra first.
Well, yeah, after Sahasra, I mean.
And then go to the pedestal. And Ninja is going to be doing Hera, so he will also get his third pendant here. Alright, Salty going over to Sahasra. Let's see what he's holding before we go see what the head can possibly be. Sahasra has arrows, so it's either pedestal or swamp.
Oh, Salty hasn't even checked the back here.
Also, Salty has 15 hearts at this point. We have 1 crystal, but 15 hearts.
And no sword.
And people think inverted mode you don't get health.
This has definitely been a strange seed.
Also, Salty doesn't have the flute yet. So that's right. Goomba's going to be able to flute right to 3, open up the portal, and go to the pedestal that way. So get your guess in chat, guys. Will it be trash, or will it be hookshot, fire rod, Kena Samaria, sword? Could be sword.
Could be a
Could be
sword.
progression sword on pedestal.
Sword
Well,
required to get something off one of the
well,
tablets.
we know that the sword that's on Desert Ledge is accessible.
Yeah.
So if it's sword, it's just convenience at this point. We know it can't be
folks.
book. Book is on. It can't be book. It could be fetch quest though. That'd be pretty good. But
all right, get your hype in chat. Here we go.
Blind pull for both Goomba and Salty Fry at pretty much the same time, and it is a sword.
Oh my god.
Okay, first sword off the pedestal at 1 hour 10 minutes in.
Wow. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a fighter sword on the pedestal.
That is fantastic.
I've seen Master Sword, Tempered Sword, Gold Sword. I don't think I've ever seen someone pull a fighter sword from the pedestal.
Remember back in the day, now this is talking like 2 years ago, before swords were progressive, the swords would be, you know, like you could find the butter sword in the first chest of the game if it was, that's how it was. And the pedestal text for the sword, for the Master Sword was, "Is this even randomized?" And it was there at least once or twice. So now Salty Fry is going to take that sword. Goomba's going to take the sword first and go into Mire. Salty going to go into Swamp. So there's your divergence that you were talking about, Etienne. One runner going into Swamp without the hook shot. One runner going into Mire without the cane.
Ether and Mimic Cave?
Well, they already got that. Salty, I think Salty did grab it. It's not on his tracker yet, though. He did grab it.
Yeah, I think he did.
Ninja gets his last pendant.
Alright, so we're going to see who's making the right call here. We know there is some progression in Swamp, but is it the progression we're looking for?
Early big key, that's nice. Don't have to worry about it being on in back and coming back.
Do you remember where that hint about the book was? Was that in Easter?
That was an Easter.
Okay, so Goomba should have got that. I'm surprised he didn't go to Swamp then.
Yeah, so those are the two screens we're looking at right now. Salty Fry going through Swamp, which we know will have the book on the left side, and Goomba going through Mire.
There's that big key for Goomba. $300 in the compass chest of Swamp.
Then 10 bombs in the, I think that's the map chest in Swamp.
Oh, yeah, you might be right there.
Here, that's a small key, I'm not sure. We don't go in that room, so it's definitely not anything useful.
Goomba now doing everyone's favorite cutscene chest. And Salty Fry doing everyone's favorite left side Swamp without the hook shot.
I'm having to use a bomb to hit the switch because this fighter sword doesn't reach there. Could have also used the boomerang, but something sharp is in plain sight. Well, we already know where that is. That's not on Desert Ledge. And the big key chest has 20 rupees. That's it for Mire. Mire was not the play.
Alright, so this Gotta be something behind that book, probably.
Imagine if the progression is on a tablet and you need to pull a pedestal for the
Yeah.
Master Sword.
That's what I. Yeah, that would be.
That is what we would like to call a evil progression chain.
That's what I call the Twitch chat dream.
Oh yeah. Anyway, Goomba now heading over to Swamp Palace himself. Let's see, which one of these chests will have the book? Left. The only one's a map, so we only need to drop down one has the book. Ah, there's the map. You chose poorly.
Alright, so Salty Fry gonna get that book. Gets the mirror out because he knows can't do anything else in Swamp. And I imagine he's gonna check the Bombos tablet and then head into the desert.
You can't pull the bottomless tablet just yet, but you can definitely check it on the way to the desert, which makes sense.
So this is our progression on the tablet. It looks like that pedestal sword may have been required.
Yeah, let's see what it says here.
It's a bottle. Okay.
Bottle with a B in it. All right, well, it's not the bottomless tablet.
Could still be the ether tablet.
Yes, it's either ether tablet or it's desert.
Yeah, so the only thing that would make the pedestal required is a required item on the ether tablet and no other swords available.
Let's see, first chest in desert. Do we have progression? No, that gives us 2 more chests on the right side. Malagord making the desert, the swamp place, so he'll be right up there, catching up a little bit. But he's still swordless.
Okay, first item is just a red rupee.
Alright, this is either going to be a big key, it could be anything. It's the big key, though. Let's see what this item is. The torch has the fire rod. There's the progression chain. So the fire rod. Alright, so that fire rod gives us access to. And there's the bow hint, which I think you needed the bow to be able to get all this. Yeah, because everything was locked behind the bow and pod.
Yeah. So that opens up the back of Skullwoods, and it opens up Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, so that's 2 or 3 checks in Swamp. You can get your Master Sword also on this list. And probably just finish off Desert while you're here. Might as well.
Yeah, never going to be a better time. So when did Salty Fry actually... Salty Fry finished Thieves Town pretty early. So this might have actually been like more than an hour between his first and second crystals.
Yeah, about that.
What an absolutely crazy seed this has been. And we still need the hook shot, we still need the Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, but we're down to just those 2 items, so we're getting a little closer to zone mode here. We got 2 more dungeons we can knock off at this point. Goomba gets his book. And Salty with the perfect silver arrow kill on the Landmos. get crystal number 2 here.
Yeah, it's not often you're an hour 20 minutes in just getting your second crystal, and you're still in the lead. But that's what we see here. So Malagord making his way into swamp, and Mr. Scruff right behind him. So they're both on the right track now.
Yeah, let's see where Salty goes. Looks like it's probably going to be Ice Palace.
Yeah, this makes the most sense. You got 3 hints and 3 items in here. I still want something to be on that ether tablet, though.
This is inverted, so this is how you get Ice Rod into Ice Palace and inverted. First hint is not a useful one. So they're probably going to bust out the Quake strats here. You don't see this Quake used too often on the opening things, but it's a really nice way. But there's the hook shot. Oh, man.
All right, we're getting closer and closer to that go mode.
Yep, just need a Samaria. Hookshot will let us complete Swamp Palace, so yes, this was a required double dip Swamp Seed.
The boots, there's our boots hint.
Well, these hints in ice have not been the most beneficial. These hints have been good if you found them early, but I mean, we got the bow hint, the boots hint, the ice rod hint, but all those items are before the hit.
Alright, so let's try getting that bomb jump off. Goomba down to 1 heart. Has to be a little careful on Lamo. Has no safeties either. Now it gets a couple hearts.
Yeah, you get 2 hearts there, so you get 3 hearts.
Malagord now in the desert. So after all this craziness, the runners really are not that far apart. Maybe 5 minutes separating, the player in front from the player in the back.
The bow is underwater. There's, more bow hints. 2 bow hints. One with fishes, one with underwater. So if the first hint didn't tell you where it was, the second one did.
And of course, neither hint accessible without the bow.
Yeah, so the Salty and Goomba were tied when they both pulled a pedestal. The main difference, obviously, here is that Goomba has already gone into Misery Mine.
Yeah, so that cost him a bit. Now, Salty Fry will still have to find that big key. Goomba will be able to just run straight to the boss, but still, that's a little bit of a time sink for Goomba.
Yeah, and
Goomba actually heading to Skull Woods before Ice Palace.
Yeah, I mean, if he finds a 3rd sword, he'll definitely really enjoy that play.
Yeah, not a bad play, really, since you got to do Skull Woods.
Red mail, that's nice. And Malagord at 1 hour and 24 minutes gets his first sword.
There's that book for Mr. Scruff.
Alright, Salty going into the Cold Stare fight. Full magic of half magic and Fire Rod is probably going to be his best path to taking it because the Master Sword not that useful, but he's going to start with it. It's a corner. Ooh, nice little dash book.
Yeah, let those pups get away from him a little bit. Ooh, he's got to be careful.
2 hearts. And he has the red mail, and then the heart and a half, but 1 Cold Stare touch, you're still dead, I think.
Yeah,
he
he's
has
gonna use that potion.
Gooba, meanwhile, in the Mothra fight, using the hammer as opposed to the Master Sword, and gets done very nicely. There's your second item, the piece of heart. So that's it for Skullwoods. Salty switching the hammer himself and gets rid of Cold Stare. Meanwhile, Malagord took care of Landnos. You saw 3 different bosses at the same time.
Yep.
Crystal number 3 each for Salty Fry and Goomba. Crystal number 2 for Malagord. Ninja gets his Fire Rod.
Alright, Goomba now heading to Ice. Probably Salty Fire will just go straight to Skullwoods after this. Or maybe maybe Swamp, actually. Now that he can full clear it.
He's gonna... yeah, it looks like probably, yeah. He still hasn't gone to Hobo for the flute, and looks like he's not even gonna bother with it. But you don't need it at this point, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Malagord also going to do Skullwoods first. Goomba also going to do the Quake strats on the Penguins here. And that's the hook shot.
That Quake is pretty effective against the Penguins. Just kills them all right away.
So now the question is, where is that Cane of Samaria?
If you're hoping for that Ped Seed, it's got to be on the Ether Tablet.
I mean, if the other 2 runners don't find another sword, you know, that pedestal could still be the play, but we'll find another sword eventually, I would assume. But it might make a difference in the Ganon fight. If we don't find a 4th sword, and it's tempered versus Master, it might make a pretty big difference come the Ganon fight.
Yeah. Although at this point, all our runners have silvers, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, but Master Sword Phase 1, Phase 2 is still horrendous.
Yeah, not the easiest fight. Alright, let's keep our eyes though on Salty Fry, who's showing us the back of Swamp now. Got 4 chests in here to check. And I believe they should all be items. I think we've already seen the map and compass. First chest, bombs. Second chest, more bombs.
So 2 more checks here in Swamp. We have the hidden chest here, and then we have Argus.
Oh, look at this.
More bombs.
Lots of bombs. And Goomba here is doing a bit of a gamble. He got that hook shot out of the first chest, and he's just blazing through the rest of Ice. He's gambling that the Cane of Samaria is not in Ice Palace, and he's going to be correct. He will miss out on that red mail, but with 14 hearts, I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, agreed.
Salty Fry on everyone's favorite Master Sword Argus fight.
And to think the developers wanted you to do this in the first place.
Yeah, even in NMG, you still get the Tempered Sword before you do Argus, because no one likes doing Argus without that.
There's another bottle for us, again with Red Potion.
Mr. Scruff, unfortunately, going to be dipping Meyer here.
Malagord checks the pedestal.
Checks that pet.
Does he want that? He still hasn't done Eastern, so maybe not.
Yeah, I'm guessing he probably won't bother with that unless we have that unlikely situation where it is actually required.
Alright, Goomba going into Swamp now, and Salty looking like he's going to eventually make his way. Remember, no, Salty with no flute is going to take the long way here to Skullwoods.
Yeah, so let's list off where can that Cane of Samari be. It can be in Hookshot Cave, it can be on the Ether Tablet. Where else can it be? I think that's it.
With the hook shot now being available, it could actually be in the Turrock Big Chest or the room behind it.
That's true, yeah. That would be evil.
Meanwhile, Ninja is doing the same play that Goomba did, and it's not going to pay off for him.
It looks like Malagord is heading to take care of Ice Palace. And Salty Fry and Goomba nearing the end of their 5th crystals. Salty Fry missing a few fire rod shots here, so it's going to have to take care of Moth with a Master Sword, but no problem there.
Now we're about to get his hook shot. He obviously does not know about the Quake strats.
Yeah, either that or wants to save magic here.
That could be a possibility as well.
And we have Salty Fry now going up the mountain. We know, I think this is really all that's left in Logic. So we got the 3 chests in Hookshot Cave, we got 2 chests in Turtle Rock, and we got the Ether Tablet.
Yeah.
So, if it's on the Ether Tablet, that would be really bad for Malagord, because he would have to go back to Eastern Palace, unless, of course, there's another sword available here.
Which I don't think there would be.
Yeah, it's looking like there's a good chance.
Unless
Well,
it's
we'll see. Yeah. There it is.
Alright, so we don't need... The pedestal is not required, although Ninja is pulling it. He's going to get his Master Sword. Check it out, it's the vanilla game. Like, literally, you're pulling a Master Sword out of the pedestal.
Yep. That's always fun. Vanilla Master Sword for Mr. Scruff.
But some go mode now for Salty Fry. He finds the King of Samaria in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and I believe he's already gotten the big key, so he just has to go straight to Laser Bridge. So
Big
this will
key
be
was at the same
pretty
time.
quick. Salty Fry going to grab a fairy there. And Goomba is very close behind.
Yeah, Goomba also going to hit go mode right about now.
So, yeah, pedestal not required, but 3 of our runners pulled it anyway.
I mean, if we don't find a sword in Ganon's Tower...
Well, I mean, where else could they be, really? Maybe in Turtle Rock. Maybe there's 2 swords in the on the Firewalk.
Right. 2 swords on the right side of the rock. Oh, that would be great.
So that's possible.
Goomba's actually going to go complete Turtle Rock. I guess because did he ever go in here, I guess?
Yeah,
He
he
might
may
not know where
not
the key is.
have gotten that big key.
Salty Fire went straight to try next because he already had the big key.
So I guess we are going to see what's on that right side there.
I guess the good news for Malagor is that he does know that there is a sword there if it comes down to it.
Yeah, but I imagine he'll find another one on the way.
And they gotta be somewhere, the 2 of them. No, it's not on the right side.
Not there, so probably they're both in GT, I would say.
It could have been the other 2 items in Hookshot Cave. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else where it could possibly be.
Question in chat, why can't Goomba just start at the laser bridge? Because Goomba doesn't have the big key yet. It's here in Chain Chomp Room, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So he'll probably get it here, and then he'll mirror out, and then go to laser bridge. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Salty Fry's gonna take the, again, no flute, so he's gonna have to take the long way to Mire, which is go to the light world, run the desert area, and then mirror to Mire.
Yeah, so he's got bow and silver arrows, so Mire should be pretty quick. He does have to find the big key. I think it was in a lobby.
Big
so
key
it won't be too long.
It was the 3rd chest you check in if you're looking for solely the big key.
Yeah, I think that's the lobby chest. And where's Mr. Scruff going now?
Buy potions maybe?
Oh yeah.
Remember with the when you inverted. Oh no,
Oh, he's gonna go to Zora, I guess. And
he
take
might not
this
have gone to
route.
Zora. He hasn't the hook shot yet, so he does have the fire rod though, so he knows he can go on ice.
Yeah, I guess he's just. I guess you can kind of route this in with ice.
Yeah, you can take the portal down and then mirror. Alright, Malagor's gonna have a fighter sword Colts there.
Yeah, but he's got half magic and the fire rod, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Crystal number 6 for Goomba. Salty Fry going through Mire. Second chest. So next chest he checks, assuming it's the lobby chest, will be this big key, and he can just go right to Viddy. Pet was not required because we did not need that Master Sword to get all the items we need for Go Mode.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a sword on the Ether tablet, but there's still one more sword that has to be available somewhere.
Malagord will be able to get into Ganon's Tower without Master Sword.
Yeah.
Those people are probably happy they have it right now because they're still on Master Sword, but...
Yeah, so Malagord is going to have Master Sword for Go Mode.
Yeah, so Malagord, yeah, assuming he finds Kane after the swamp, if you will, he will still need Master Sword for Go Mode, whereas Salty Fry and Goomba can just go right to Ganon. Still need a big key in Ganon's Tower, of course, and we might stumble across swords in Ganon's Tower. Which, remember, we're in inverted, so Ganon's Tower is actually in the top of Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, where Aga Tower normally is.
Also, look at Goomba and Salty Fry. They are on the same screen here, going through.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is because Goomba already had been in here, so already had the big key. So we have a really big race between these two now.
Yeah, and now Goomba's going to take the lead here because he has the fire out. He's going to set up the spooky glitch, whereas Salty's doing it to Bella way, I believe.
Oh, he gets it too.
Yep.
I actually don't even know how to set up the spooky glitch.
Neither do I. I just call it a spooky glitch.
I can do it in open mode. I know how to do it there. I don't know how to do it in inverted.
And Silver Arrows makes this fight very trivial.
Yeah, so this is going to come down to a key routing. And speaking of that, we got a little game that we like to play. It's not a tournament, so we're not going to be using a bot or anything for that. There's no leaderboard, but we'll still play it just for fun. Throw your guesses in chat. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower where the big key can be. Just guess any number from 1 to 22. Rambler, what's your guess going to be today?
I'm going to go with chest number 7.
Alright. Pick number 1. I often pick number 1, but this has been pretty mean, so we gotta do something nice for these runners. So we're gonna go the order of the chests opened by the first player to get to GT, and that's probably gonna be Goomba here.
Now, what Goomba and Salty Fire are going to be doing more than likely is if they find a big key, they'll just go up Ganon's Tower. And Goomba with the cutscenes.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do it in inverted.
So normally you have that little crystal cutscene when you open the door, but apparently, I guess I just learned if you bonk the door first, you don't have to do the cutscene. So Goomba is finding a small key in Hope Room, so he's going to do right side.
It is a strat that I like to implement. If you find a small key, just do full right. Salty Fire doing the set. Looks like I have the hammer dash. That's what Salty Fire just did.
Okay, so chest 1 and 2 we already saw. Coming up will be chests 3 through 6.
So I got Torch.
There it is, number 3.
Number 3. The first person to say 3 was one of our trackers, Raylan Tangier.
Congrats, Raylan. We also had Shadow Dragon X also guessed number 3. Alright, so Salty Frat also going right side. So he's going to be not far behind Goomba. So this race is going to come down to execution here. Goomba has maybe a 20, 30-second lead, something like that.
And also, they're not going to open chests anymore. Like, they're opening chests down here, but they're going to go straight up to the tower. But I'm assuming they'll open all 4 chests upstairs here, looking for that tempered sword. They can do Master Sword, Ganon. They just don't want to.
Yeah, I imagine they'll open at least the 2 most convenient chests.
And Malagord is going to do Eastern. He wants that sword.
Okay. So we are going to see 4 ped pulls then. I'm pretty surprised, but I mean, he's maybe hoping that Cane of Samaria is on the Ether tablet.
I guess he wants to route Ether tablet in just in case he doesn't have Samaria anywhere else.
I guess maybe just going for the guaranteed sword instead of having to search around in GT.
Yeah. Plus, he would want it for Trinex for sure.
Okay, Goomba getting to Lamo 2 at 146.56. And Salty Fry getting there 147.26. So just about 30 seconds difference between Goomba and Salty.
Yep. And Goomba might have just lost 5 seconds on that Wizard room, though Salty's losing more time on Limo too.
Yeah. When the race this goes, just execution is just so important.
And Goomba was thinking about going straight, but he's going to open these chests, it looks like. Looking for that sword. Finds the 4th bottle.
Yeah, I don't think that's really of much use for him.
If it had potion in it, maybe, but with a B, not so much. Ten arrows in the pre-Moldorm. Ooh, that's a nifty strat from Salty Fire. I never saw that before. Bonking to the other side. Goomba going to use the hammer. Salty only opening up 1 chest. As Goomba's going to hookshot over and open up the post-Moldorm chest. Looking for that last sword? No. So we're going to see Master Sword again in here. And where is Malagord going? He's going to do hammer pegs? Looks like it.
Yeah, he's still looking for that cane. And
he wanted to mirror, but he can't mirror from the Dark World to the Light World and inverted, so he's just going to go to the pedestal now, it looks like. Or just go through the portal. I don't know what he's doing. Is that a triple?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Can he get a 2-cycle Aga 2? It looks like he might.
Oh, wow.
Got it. The 2-cycle
really nice
Aga 2 by Goomba.
Don't see that often, but it is really nice to see when it happens. And Goomba is off to Ganon. As Salty Fry now on Aga 2. Let's see if he can get a double triple as well.
I was going to do the same, and that looks like it might have got there. It was close. Nah, he missed it there.
One there.
Malgord pulling the pedestal, going to get his Master Sword. As Salty Fry finishes off Ganon. Or Aga. And they're going to be entering the Ganon fight. They're being the Ganon fight together about 25 to 30 seconds apart. Let's see who's better at Master Sword Ganon. Goomba or Salty Fry? Both these guys play a ton of rando, so they're both very good execution. Let's see how good they are at this fight. Goomba into phase 2.
And Salty Fry now about 35 seconds behind. Goomba gonna use a cape here. Gonna down that red potion.
Yeah, he's down to 1 heart.
Yeah, I think he's good for the rest of the fight now.
Yeah, I'm still in phase 2 though. Instead of using the cape, he's just gonna use the hook shot here. I probably would have bust out cape strats just for a little bit at this point. But Goomba's into phase 3.
And Salty Fry into phase 3, so...
No, not yet. Still fighting phase 2. This is probably the last bit of it, though.
Goomba getting the first arrow in, missing the torch glitch, but no big deal with silvers.
Yeah, if we didn't have silvers, this would be a much different story. But there's 2 silver arrows in. Here comes number 3. Light the torches one more time.
Ooh, gets a silverless head.
No!
There it is.
Alright, Goomba gets the last shot in. Salty Fry also just about to finish. But Goomba is the first one in, and he is also the first place finisher in the overall race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 44 seconds.
Yeah.
Get your GGs in chat for Goomba. And not far behind him is Salty Fry, who finishes second on stream and second in the overall race. An official time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 3 seconds. GG's in chat to both Goomba 90 and Salty Fry, top 2 finishers on the stream and in the overall race. And we are joined in the booth by both of those runners, Goomba and Salty Fry. GG's to both of them.
GG.
What a crazy seed and a crazy close finish between you two.
Why did I win?
Thanks, GG, guys.
I don't know how Goomba
That was a wild seed. That was wild.
I got my first sword from pedestal at 110, and I had 1 crystal.
Salty Fry pulled the pedestal literally 15 seconds after you did. And to put things in reference, both the other runners on stream are literally just now getting their cane of Samaria.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think the main difference between you two, Goomba, you went into Mire, so you ended up double dipping Mire, but Salty full cleared ice, whereas you decided to gamble and just go through ice. So
I was trying really hard to get my hook shot before getting my book from Swamp Palace, but when that didn't pan out, I decided I needed to cut corners, so when I got my hook shot in ice, I decided to just assume the cane was behind the hook shot somewhere else.
Yeah, well, you can imagine we were really hoping it would be on the Ether tablet, just to make
Same.
that pedestal sword required.
I was really hoping there would be tablet progression and the sword was actually required. That would have been hysterical.
That's what we were hoping for, especially after you guys pulled the sword. But both Malagord and the other and Mr. Scruff also on stream, they pulled vanilla Master Sword out of the pedestal. Malagord was the only one who
found any other swords yet.
No,
No.
they've got to be in Ganon's Tower at this point.
Yeah, I think we've seen almost everywhere else except Ganon's Tower.
The Ether Tablet and the other two spots on Hookshot Cave we haven't seen. They both skipped. Both the other runners skipped it as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I have one chest left in Hookshot Cave. I've got Pyramid Fairy. I've got Spiral Cave. Obviously, you said you saw Ice Palace. That's not it.
So it.
Ice Palace had the powder.
I left 2 items in Total Rock, I guess.
Yeah, Ice Palace actually had powder and red mail, so a lot of safety there.
The Salty got red mail, but not powder, and Goomba got neither. Powder was the iced tea room, I believe.
Yeah, or no, it would have been the big chest probably because I skipped. I didn't have the big key.
Okay, yeah, big key.
I knew I was gonna have to go a big loop because I knew I was gonna get the big key in the iced tea room, then have to go over to the big chest. I'm like, screw this. I'm just gonna gamble and hope that the item was on Cold Stare. That didn't end up happening. So if the cane ended up being in the iced tea room, it would have been a very long race before I found that.
Yeah, the powder was in the iced tea room. This big key was in the location.
Apparently, we just saw in the credits, one of the swords was on the mushroom, so the question is, where was that mushroom?
Presumably in Ganon's Tower. It was a very early big key, so we didn't see most of GT.
Yeah, I had fun. I enjoyed that in the end. Pulling it out, I've never been so happy to pull a sword out of the ped, to be honest with you, at that point in time.
But when you're an hour 10 in and you're swordless and you pull the first one out of the pedestal, I know you're hoping for Hookshot or Cane or Fire Rod there, but you're not disappointed at a sword.
No, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like I was saying in my head, I'm like, oh great, give me the Cane, give me the Hookshot, give me the Fire Rod, give me one of those. The sword came out. I'm like, all right, I'll take that right.
Yeah, I just
if you had Tempered Sword already, you were not happy about pulling a sword there, but.
Also, can we talk about that early game of the entire light world being completely empty and the game just wanting you to go to pod to get your mirror?
Yep. Well, the game gave you access to the light world early. You just shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, like I full cleared the light world and all I got was a lamp, a cape, and an ice rod.
I mean, at least the ice rod was required and the cape got you the Titan's Mitts, which I don't know if they were technically required. Also, Salty Fry did not get the... One of the things maybe that why Goomba won, Salty Fry did not get the flute. Goomba logic broke it early as in Malagord. It was on a hobo.
I had the
okay.
I do want to say, though, I don't think I've ever seen anyone pull a fighter sword from the pedestal before.
Yeah, that was a new experience for me. That was pretty interesting.
Anyway, we have our third place finisher in the overall race, Hitsuyan 1337, with a 157.02. With the comment of last location, Moon Pearl.
Okay, well, I
Which
didn't do that.
Salty got first location, Moon Pearl.
That's not bad, though, I don't think. Because then you have your boots very early. If you go to pod before Skullwoods.
Well, pod was bow locked. Well, I guess, yeah, could have gone into Catfish.
You could have gotten the bow.
True, yeah.
You could have logic
Never mind.
with the bow.
Like, if you truly last location Moon Pearl, you have boots and mirror before Light World Axis, which honestly is
that's true.
Yeah, Hitsuya just showed up in chat and said the same thing we were saying.
I mean, I think it really set the tone for the Siege when I just casually died to blind at like the 5-minute mark, you know?
Yeah, you died to blind, and everybody but Salty Fry died to blind when you guys. Actually, Ninja died before going to blind, and he doped out of Thieves Town anyway.
Yeah, well, I think he took an intentional. He just saw that glove and just was like immediately like, "I'm going to Light World."
Yeah, I didn't have the moon pearl yet, so.
Yeah,
Normally I go to Skullwoods early, but like I got the bombs from the tier 1 pool, just went straight into Hype Cave, and got like 9 more bombs plus a hammer, so I just said, okay, let's wait on Skullwoods a bit, I guess.
We do have a couple more finishers. In 4th place is Shire with 159.08. And in 5th place is Matt 78.98 with a 159.36. And that is going to be the last of our sub 2 finishers.
So that means about, I don't think we have 15 runners today, or about 15, so 1/3 of the runners with a sub 2 in this truly awful seed. And Frostbite just finished with a 2 hour 44 seconds.
I don't know if I'd call this seed awful. Like, this was one of those so bad it's good kind of seeds.
I guess.
It was entertaining, that's for sure.
Like, this one was hilariously terrible.
The only thing that could have been better, again, was if that Cane of Samaria was on the Ether tablet.
Yeah, if the sword on pedestal was actually hard required for tablet progression, that would have been some next level garbage.
What, I mean, the way that all 3 pendants opened up as soon as you found Bodo, or as soon as you found Bo, which led to Mirror, then you're just like, oh wait, I can full clear the pendants. Let's see what this is.
Yeah, I mean, there was still 4 or 5 items that could have been on the pedestal, so the sword was just hilarious.
Yeah,
It's
I decided to just take it to the next level and just go get my hookshot from Misery Mire so I could single dip Swamp Palace. Didn't really work, but
Salty's in-game timer was less. Salty actually won the race, guys. Sorry, everybody.
oh, right.
I'm kidding.
Feels bad, man. I'm lucky. Yeah, GG's. That was a lot of fun, actually, despite how fucking stupid that scene was. Language, sorry.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. Not everybody's first sword was pedestal. Goomba and Salty Fry had first sword pedestals. Malagord actually read the hint before. He knew the. So Goomba, you did not go into Eastern at all until like later, and you didn't know the hint for book on Left Side Swamp. If you knew that, would you have done Swamp before Eastern? Or Swamp before what was the other location that was available?
Mire?
Yeah, Swamp for Mire.
I was just trying really hard to not have to double dip Swamp Palace, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's why I just did everything else first, despite knowing the book was there.
Yeah, basically, once I got that hint in Eastern, that was going to be my next place to go at that point in time. I didn't have a whole lot of other places to go. I think Mire was probably my other option at that point in time. So, I mean, going to Swamp before you go to Mire, since it's kind of on the way, only made sense. And since the book was there, I mean, that opens up Desert right there as well. So,
Yeah.
obviously, just like the logical.
I had a float, so I could just float straight to Mire. Like, if I would have had to walk past Swamp Palace to get to Mire, I probably would have done that, but I could just float straight there, so.
Yeah, I would have liked the flute. There was a lot of walking around for me this seed.
Yeah, that float was pretty helpful, actually.
I like your file name there, Salty. Took me a second to figure it out.
In general, I really like inverted mode. There hasn't been a whole lot of inverted races recently, so I haven't been doing it a whole lot. But yeah, I always enjoy inverted. It makes you think a lot more than the other ones. The open and standard, they're kind of just you just kind of get on a track and you just kind of go now at this point in time. I've done so many of them. So inverted, it makes you think a lot more. I really like it when you add key sanity to it.
Mr. Scruff getting that cutscene skip. That's actually, I never even knew you could do that. The crystal cutscene skip there going into GT.
That one's really good.
How does that work? You just have to bonk into the door? Is that it?
You bow dash into the door and bonk, and it just skips the cutscene.
Okay.
I think any item dash works. I used a hammer because that was what I had equipped at the time.
Yeah, Salty for Hammer dashed into it. So looks like we did have a pretty close race here, actually, between our other 2 runners.
Yeah,
Mr. Scruff, unfortunately, looks like he's doing tile rooms, so he's going to fall a little bit behind.
I mean, I don't fault him, honestly. Like, considering all the garbage I did when nobody was done by the time I got to GT, I thought about just going for tile room. I did think about it. But
And for all we know, he could pull Tempered Sword out of there at this point in time.
Right. It turned out to be a piece of heart, so it was not Tempered Sword. Hitsuyan asking if you went left GT. No, everybody on the stream went right GT. So if there's a sword left side, we are not going to see it.
At this rate, probably 2 swords on the left side.
No,
Well,
we know one is
mushroom's
mushroom.
but the mushroom's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
over there.
But the mushroom is on left side, according to someone in chat. So, sort of, there's 2 sides there. 2 swords there.
So what happened? What happened on my end? Oh, it's like Malagord is going to go left side. He's actually going to look for that tempered sword, I guess.
Oh yeah, so Mr. Scruff.
Or
okay,
he's just gonna get key. It looks like and go back up.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have they're both gonna be going up the gauntlet around the same time.
Yeah, this is gonna be really close. Wow, they're neck and neck. They're literally within a second of each other. This is this is
a close one.
gonna come down to execution 100%.
Absolutely.
Judging by what I've been watching from these guys, I would give the slight execution edge to Malagord. The only reason why Malagord lost time was he was doing a lot of searching overworld, even after finding, after pulling Master Sword out of pedestal, as opposed to going straight to Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Malagord actually checked the pedestal, saw that it was a sword, and then went to Eastern just to kill Armos because he wanted that sword. I guess because he didn't want to, I don't know, didn't want to have to search GT for the sword or something.
Yeah.
But,
Look at this thing.
yeah, this is super close.
Alright, well, I think I'm gonna duck out of here.
Right. Well, GG's to you, and thanks for being on the restream.
Yeah, thanks for featuring me, and thanks for commentating and tracking and all that stuff. I'm always happy to be here. Community would not be the same without these races, so I'm always glad to be able to participate. Yeah, GG Salty.
GG's good.
GG's, nicely done.
See you around, everyone.
So what had happened on my end was I got home and I was like, all right, SG daily nightly races happening. Maybe I'll do that. And then I was talking to Malagord about it, and Malagord says, yeah, I'm going to run it too. It's inverted today. And I was like, I'm not running this. And I think I made the right decision to commentate instead of run, because this seed I would not have done well on this seed. I will let you know right now. I do not like being swordless. I do not like low health Thieves Town.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one.
I mean, I won the on-stream stuff 2 days ago when it was a healthy seed with Gomo Titansmiths, so...
I mean, to be fair for an inverted one, this wasn't really that bad, because you didn't really have to go into Thieves Town to do too much. I mean, you went in there to get the gloves, and that was it. It's not like you had to go kill blind to get it. I mean, I remember I was thinking when I went in there, I'm like, oh, if that power glove was on blind, I'd probably be in great shape now, because I even knew right off the bat that, like, all right, I'm the most likely person probably to actually kill this with just the hammer and 4 hearts at this point in time, so I'd actually put a little bit of work into that.
Yeah.
Since back in the last tournament, like, I was picking inverted in every single race and doing harder expert mode on top of that, so doing hammer only blind was something I kind of got somewhat good at. Like, I know there's an actual script for it that I don't know. I kind of made my own script, which I've kind of gotten down and followed along.
Yeah, I think Willard, you practiced swordless blind, not inverted though, because he picked swordless every time. So that he was the one that really did the script hammer fight a lot, but he did it for swordless, not for inverted.
Yeah, I just kind of made my own. It's definitely a little slower than what it could be, but I don't know. It works for me, and it's somewhat consistent. And if you get by with just a hammer and 4 or 5 hearts, it usually feels pretty good regardless.
I do want to just let everyone know we do have a special guest who will be coming in as soon as the race is complete. Feasel, the owner of Speed Gaming, is going to be coming in to talk about that Speed Gaming Live event that will be happening, I believe that's in October.
Yeah.
If you want to learn more about that, if you have any questions about it, stay tuned for the end of the race, and Feasel will be here.
Meanwhile, we did have another finisher. 9 minutes after the last finisher, 7th place is Plasma Kappa with a 2 hour, 9 minutes, 6 seconds. So these runners might still sneak in the top 10. I think there was like 15 runners today.
Yeah, something like that.
There was 13 runners, so Plasma kept at a halfway point among the runners. We had one forfeit from the data plat, so we still have 5 runners still racing, including 2 on stream, as Malagord is the first one into the Aga 2 fight among the last 2 of our and that
So
was
Malagord has pulled ahead a little bit, but it's still very close. It's still going to come down to execution on that Ganon fight.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna too well. I don't know how comfortable he is with the Master Sword Ganon. I know Malagord is not the most comfortable, but he can do it. Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, the only of these 3 runners that I don't know their games well at all. The other Malagord I race with a lot, and Salty Fry and Goomba have been... Salty Fry I've been racing with for 2 years, and Goomba has been pretty much every race ever the past year. Alright, so Malagord going into the Ganon fight. Ninja Tuna about 20 seconds behind. And Malagord, no, you cannot slash Ganon with the Master Sword. Alright, 2 hits for Malagord. While on phase 2. 3. Tuna did not get into phase 2 at the same time as Malagord did. You have the cape! Stop taking unnecessary damage. Well, they have red mail, so they can afford to take a little damage, but down to 2 hearts. He still has a red potion here. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, he's
that bad one
frantically manuing to that red potion.
I know the top right for both these runners, but neither one of them get to it. Neither one of these guys using the cape. They're really conserving their magic here. And using that potion.
Yeah, it looks like Mr. Scruff is having a bit of trouble connecting on some of these spins.
I think Malagord's in the phase. Nope, not yet. You can tell these 2 guys are not the most comfortable with Master Sword Ganon, but they're getting it done. They're about the same. Look at this. They are in the same script right now, and they're both still in phase 3. Alright, they're both in this phase 3 at the same time. Look at this, they are tied at the moment.
Wow. We could see a tie here. That'd be crazy.
Uh-oh, slow menuing for Mr. Scruff as he goes to the lamp here.
Malagord's getting some fire bats stuck on him, but they are still neck and neck here.
Yep. Malagord just the silvers first. On lamp. There's the 4th spin for both of them. This is really crazy. And Scruff going for the torch glitch first.
Yeah, I think that's going to cost him.
Already put a silver in. Alright, Malagord has 3. I think Scruff only has 2 at this point. And Malagord, once he puts a silver arrow in, will be it. Oh, they both... Oh my god, what is this? Both of them knock him down at the same time. We're gonna have to go to the replay for this one. If this is a tournament race, it would definitely be a tie. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow.
They both moved through. And we can tell you that Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna has finished in 8th place with a 2:14.03 and Malagord in 9th with a 2:14.04.
Yeah, Malagord says he took 3 seconds to dot done.
Oh my gosh. They both finished pretty much around the same time on screen. The retime would give it to Malagord, but either way, if this was a tournament race, which is not, it's obviously just casual. If it was a tournament race, they would be re-racing for sure. Joining us in chat now is Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna GG.
GG. Forgot I was on push to talk.
Wow. So
was
the tiebreaker race between you and Malagord will be tomorrow. It's going to be the same seed. You want to do it?
Oh, hell yes. I'm cool with that.
Oh, gosh.
Answer me this. Was I the first person to find boots?
I don't think so.
Damn.
No,
I mean, darn.
And that's not the
think,
worst word that's been said on chat today, so you're fine.
yeah.
Second question. Did anyone find Tempered?
No.
No. We know there was one on the mushroom, but we've never found the mushroom.
You'll see that on credits that the mushroom has a sword, and the mushroom was left side GT.
Oh, fun. So, last question. Was anyone else dumb enough to do a blind ped pull?
Everybody
yes.
but Malagord blindfolded the pad. The other two runners on stream pulled their fighter sword out of there.
Oh, wow. See, I
Yeah.
saw that one off of Desert Ledge and went immediately for it, thinking, alright, this is going to be opening up everything.
Yeah, Malagord actually checked the pedestal first, so he knew, then went to Eastern to finish that off. So yeah, he knew that it was a sword. And we're joined also by Malagord. GG's.
Thank you, guys.
So,
GG.
Malagord, if you and Mr. Scruff have a re-race and it's the same seed, would you do it?
Would I play this seed again? I mean, yeah, I know where everything's at now.
Yeah, do it
Well,
as a
technically, you still don't know
spoiler
where
run.
you still don't know where Tempered Sword is, to be fair.
I'm gonna guess somewhere in GT.
Well, we know one was on the Witch's Hut with the mushroom in GT, so there's that.
Yeah, we don't know where the fourth one was. It probably was also in GT.
Maybe the front of T-Rock. Did anyone check that?
Yeah, T-Rock
Yes.
was fully checked by, I think, Mrs. Scruff and also by Goomba on stream.
Yep, that was just a heart container, I think.
Yeah, Harker's there and a small.
and a cape. Or no, and a small key.
No,
Yeah,
Cape
right.
was the Cape was early game.
Way early. That's what led to Titan's Mitts. I'm
Yep.
so sad there's not a face cam for this, because oh my god.
Yeah, this was a crazy seed. And we had to actually, we kind of had like two different races going on. Salty Fry and Goomba finished within less than a minute of each other, and then you two finished within a second of each other. So that was quite an exciting race.
I do find it funny that on the restream, Malagord finished a second before I did, but in SRL I did the...
Well, the obvious answer is why. Just looking at the timers, you use live split, Scruff. That's the only reason why.
Yep.
So all I have to say here is blame Rambler, just cause.
Yes.
I
No.
have to.
Yep.
I
Yep.
did not.
Um,
Wait, because your file name said it, doesn't mean it was my fault that you did the seed. I was the smart one to do commentary and not play it. You were like, oh, I want to play.
Very, very true.
So I'm the smart
Second thing
one.
I have to say is free quick swap. Give me my quick swap back. Quick swap lives
Wait.
matter, people.
Hold on, wait. We got controversy here. Hold on. Anyway, GG's to everybody here. Also, give a shout out to our trackers, Math Girl and what's that
Math
guy's
Girl
name?
and
Raylan
Raylan
Tanker,
Tanker,
who also won
yeah.
the GT Big Key Guessing Game that doesn't count. And of course, to my co-commentator at TM for stepping in. Thanks for co-commenting with me on this. And
Yeah.
again, we're gonna have a special guest in the booth. The boss is coming in, so everybody, don't yell. Shh. Act casual.
I'm nervous. What do I do with my hands?
Anyway, we're gonna try to get Feasel in here.
Yeah, so while we're waiting on Feasel, I just want to remind everyone to follow these runners, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, Salty Fry, Malagord, and Goomba90. They're all great runners, did a great job. But we do have Feasel in here very shortly.
He might be on an airplane at SGDQ for all we know.
Yeah, there he is.
That's right. I'm talking to you from the airplane.
There we go.
How's it going, Feasel?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right. Well, thanks for commentating the race tonight. I'm going to fill everyone in on this amazing event. Although, if you've been watching these dailies, you've probably heard this before. But Speed Gaming Live is finally happening. this October, 24th through the 27th. That's the last weekend in October in Herndon, Virginia. So that's just outside of Washington, D.C. We're having a live tournament, a live set of tournaments. Our 3 major tournaments are going to be a Link to the Past randomizer, we have Ocarina of Time randomizer, and Super Mario Maker 2. There's the link in the chat right there, so you can see all the details. We're going to have $3,000 prize pools for each of those main tournaments. So if you are into Link to the Past randomizer and have some time in October to come out, I think it's worth it. There's no fee to enter the tournament, although there is a fee to attend the event. In addition to those 3 tournaments, we've got a bunch of other smaller tournaments that are going to have prize pools of at least $100 to $500 each. We've got Zelda 1 Rando. We've got Super Metroid. Any percent, I think, right now is what the category is going to be. There was some debate about any versus 100, but people seem to like any. And we're going to have Mario 64. We're going to have Super Mario World. And we're going to have Super Mario Brothers 1. So we have a range of Mario games spanning 3 consoles there. Well, 4 consoles if you're counting Mario Maker. And we've got Mega Man X as the last tournament. So, what do you do to sign up? Well, you can sign up for the tournaments now, but the important thing is that you need to make sure you buy your ticket. Those go on sale July 5th. On this website right here where it says attendee tickets go on sale July 5th, right there below the tournaments and such. We'll have a button right there where you can click to go to the ticket sales. You can click to book your hotel room at the discounted hotel rate. We are going to get a group rate on the hotel rooms. And then, of course, sign up for the individual tournaments that you want to join. Some fun things we'll be doing in the meantime. We've got online qualifiers. So although you don't need to participate in qualifiers in order to play in this tournament, all you have to do is show up or buy your ticket in time before we fill up on players, because there is going to be an entrant cap. We only have so many spaces for people. The entrant cap is going to be 50 players in, I think it's for the 3 main tournaments, it's going to be 50 players each is the entrant cap. So right now, Link to the Past randomizer is not quite halfway full up. Ocarina of Time has plenty of space, and Super Mario Maker is about a third of the way filled up already. So we're getting there. But remember, your spot is not secured until you've purchased your ticket. So let's wait for. So don't wait too long after July 5th to buy your ticket. But we're going to do some online qualifiers. So regardless of whether you bought your ticket and signed up early, anyone can participate in the qualifiers. I've been getting a lot of questions about how do qualifiers work, the sign up. We haven't opened sign up for the qualifiers yet. We aren't going to do that until sometime next month. It's completely independent of signing up for the event. If you're planning on going to the event, get your ticket, sign up for the tournaments that you want, get your ticket early. But for qualifiers, we will have a separate set of signups happening in July, probably about mid to late July. So what we're going to have is a series of races in July and August, which are going to be open to everyone to join. And the top players from each of those qualifiers will get a guaranteed spot in the playoff bracket, so they can bypass the group stage of our live tournament. You get a guaranteed spot in the playoffs, and you win a subsidized travel and hotel costs. So we will pay for travel and hotel room for you. So if you want to participate in that, you can. If you want to just skip that, you can just show up and join the tournament, and that'll be fine too. Also, we are looking for other things to do at this event besides just tournaments. We got a side stream going on here. We'll have Speed Gaming 2 will be running a marathon just of whatever runs people want to submit. We have a submit form up there on the website. We're taking any kinds of runs. Particularly, we're interested in seeing some things from groups. So if you want to get a group of people together to do a relay of a whole bunch of games from a particular series, that would be fun. Or if people wanted to do some multi-world races, or just like some special things besides just individual runs. But we're also taking regular old runs, GDQ style type content. So yeah, think of some neat runs to submit to that. We have a Discord server. The link is right there in the chat. The Discord server, that's where we're discussing all this. We have channels for people who want to participate in the tournaments, and for people who want to volunteer for the events. It's going to take lots of volunteer efforts, but we are going to need people to help with commentary, with tracking, helping out with the tournaments, helping out with on-site stuff like checking people's tickets and things like that, and managing the registration desk, and helping us set the rooms up and move things around, all kinds of stuff like that. Tech help, if anyone wants to help us with the actual streaming and with our setup, that would be very helpful. And then we're looking for all kinds of artists. We have the opportunity here to create t-shirts, hats, mugs, mouse pads. I think you can even buy shower curtains with stuff printed on them, so maybe you can get some Zelda in your shower. That didn't sound right. Well, anyway, we have a whole bunch of different kinds of merchandise, and we're going to be able to sell those and make be able to put the profit of that towards raising prizes for these tournaments, for these prize pools. So keep an eye out for that. And if you're an artist who wants to design different kinds of gear for this, come into the volunteer Discord and let us know, and we'll start putting those together. So expect that in the next couple of weeks. We'll start having some merchandise out. Also, if you want to talk with me about collaborating and creating some kind of special event, like let's say you wanted to do a block of runs where you pick the commentators and the players, so like a relay race or just a bunch of games from a particular series, or maybe like a little mini tournament or something like that. I'm open to all kinds of ideas, so just contact me or contact staff in the Discord server for this, and we'll get you set up. So that's about it, man.
That was a lot of talking, Fiesel, but there's a lot of information to digest on that.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I haven't even told you half of it, but I imagine that one by one I'll be running into a lot of people at SGDQ, and we can talk then.
I do have a question. For those of us who may not be able to attend, can we expect lots of these events to be streamed?
Yeah, we're going to try to stream as much as possible. At the group stages, we're going to have, we might have 50 people playing at a time in each of the tournaments, so we're not going to be able to get everyone in there, but we're going to try to stagger them so we can keep the channel going all day. And we're going to show as many of them as we can at night as well. I think what we're going to do is get multiple stream stations set up so that even if we have, so that most of them we can record live, but if we want to, have just so many things going on that we can't get it all onto the channel at once, we can record some of them and play it later in the day, or record them with live commentary and live players. But I hope to schedule things so that we can get everybody streamed at least once, I hope. We'll see.
That sounds great.
Let me be the first to suggest Z1, Z2, Z3 rando relay race.
Just threw them all back to back?
Yes.
I'd love to see one of those combo randomizers that just takes different Zelda games and puts them together. That'd be neat. All right. Any questions before we go here? It's going to be on Speed Gaming Main. Yeah, well, we'll be using Speed Gaming Main channel for most of the broadcasts, but we want to do the side stream on Speed Gaming 2. And if we just have so much content we can't get it all on the channel, we'll bring Speed Gaming 3 into operation and use that for overflow as well.
That sounds like a great time.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for commentating the race. I think we still have something going on, and we're about to raid.
Just last two finishers that we have so far that came in while you were was Soliatu in 10th with a 2:23.32 and Hacksaw with an 11th with a 2:25.18. We have one runner left, Karakar. And we found out through Hacksaw, he found the other sword. It was the pre-rando room chest in GT had tempered. So everybody on stream went full right, which is where the big key was. So if you went left, you found tempered. Which Malagor probably would have done if he didn't pull the pedestal. But thanks again for everybody for tuning in and watching this. We're going to be throwing it over to one of the other Speed Gaming channels. On behalf of everybody here, thanks for watching. My name is Emma Rambler. Any last words?
No, I've been Etium. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks, Fiesel, for coming in to talk about that event. But yeah, have a great night, everyone.
Take care, everybody.